Very much, Freak, and what a pretty dominating first one as well. Things kind of panned out the way we figured they would going in the jungle, and then the other lanes for Impulse just kind of continued to snowball. The compositions out of pick bans, though, and I shouldn't say the compositions, the bans we were kind of questioning, I should say.
Yeah, there were actually a lot of bans in this. I thought TIP banning Lulu was kind of a big mistake there. I think giving Lulu over to C9 is not a problem. It also gives you another option for yourself because they like running Lulu compositions, so have that flexibility. They're going to switch sides, so I think that'll be substituted for a Kalista ban coming into the next game. But also the Kalista ban by C9 I thought was really weird as well because Sneaky plays a really good Kalista. You're leaving Azir up. You know they'll probably take that over it. Yeah. And even if they take Kalista, you get Azir yourself. And Azir is actually really good against Kalista. She'll never be able to reach you.
And I also don't like how they banned Evelynn instead of banning Shen. Because what's really scary about TIP and how they play is that they play the combo of Shen, Evelynn. And I think Evelynn on her own is pretty strong. Like Rush plays that full DPS Evelynn and just picks on everybody. And I think it's pretty strong on its own, but I don't think it's really something that's ban worthy unless you pair it with the Shen. And if you saw like the game, Shen was just... He was just beating up on bot lane so hard. Yeah,
when we talk about Impact Shen, it's always this thing where when we had Kiwi Kid on the desk before, he was telling me when he scrims people, he's always like, you know what? Impact Shen is just way far and above everybody else's. What he's able to do for the team, he's not just the person who's diving in and saving people. He's helping the front line. He's going and like getting their back line and making everybody focus on him. He's doing so much for the team, and no other Shen player seems to do what he's able to do in North American LCS. Even right here, he gets both damage dealers. These are the sole 2 damage dealers of Cloud9, basically soloing them out. He's 2v1ing right here.
They're not even hurting him at all.
I'm pretty sure they're killing themselves against Thornmail and Sunfire at this point.
Yeah, I mean, when your top laner can take out both your mid laner and your ADC, and they have Baron buff here too. It's just, I don't know. And it's also his most comfortable champion. This play, like TP's behind him, and he just ends up setting up another play, and Ashe has no escape move, so you're just like pinned in here and just gonna get picked off every time.
Yeah, just the amount of global pressure he's able to exert with both of his TP and his ultimate.
And then right saving potential.
Another one too. Soraka was another very crazy pick. Like, you talked about it before. You're like, okay, Soraka can get through. I was like, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's okay.
It was a question, right? I didn't think they would actually put resources into it, but you know, you have to question now.
Yeah, I think Soraka is something that definitely has to be on your radar now. It saved so many people. Cloud9, if they had gotten those kills early, they might have been able to snowball, and it would have been a very different game. Soraka just stopped that completely.
Well, it's just a really obnoxious champion to play against, especially if you're playing from behind. If you're ahead, it's like super easy to run.
It's so flimsy,
yeah, it's not that good, and you can't really roam or make plays or anything like that. But the problem is High doesn't really pressure in the same way as Rush is, so they're not really able to punish the Soraka and punish that pick. So
you can see High having a word now with the team and the rest of everybody being pretty vocal at this point about what should probably happen and what they're looking at again against Team Impulse going into this next game. That was actually 11 games for Team Impulse that they had not run Sivir, and then they just went back to it in that composition. So they still have that whole bag of tricks they used up until this game to bring back out again.
I'm really happy to see that too, because they were just running one threat compositions and now using Apollo once again as somebody who's supplementing the team, getting Gate in there, getting Impact in there to actually deal a lot of damage. I thought it was a good kind of change of pace. So now you still have that backup. You still can run the Cogmog composition, and they have to think about that, but now they have to think about this as well. So having more of that the enemy has to kind of adjust to, you see Cloud9 definitely has a lot on their plate coming into game 2.
Well, it's also really good because they show that they have a counter for the Ashe. They have that ready. I mean, Ashe she has no mobility, so you just pick Sivir and you just run her down and just pick tanks and just get on top of her, and you can pick her off super easy. And it's the same thing with Varus. Like they pick Varus to counter the Azir. Like, like this is our counter. We're gonna give you Azir. But that just doesn't work when you have the Sivir ultimate and you're just speeding everybody in and you get run over.
On that too, because it was a counter pick, but Gate did what I want all my solo queue mid laners to do when they're outmatched in mid lane. It's don't die. Like, your job, I don't care if you're down 20 CS. I don't care if you lose your turret. Just don't die to them. Don't start feeding them and don't let them snowball. And that's exactly what he did. He had 0 deaths for, I think, the entire game. He, like, a large portion of the game, he did not die. And that's what I love seeing.
It counts. When you absorb that much as a single player on your team, that doesn't get spread out into the other lanes, and it really starts to pay off for you guys. It paid off for Impulse in the first game. We are going to step away while the teams reset for game 2 between Cloud9 and Team Impulse. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
There's a Reddit highlight of it again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, your Mumu was on front page again. You did it.
Wait, is it front page?
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
They're like a
Hey, I said I would do some Amumu plays.
Somehow in the back line, Hai really wants this, but the exhaust is too much. The piercing arrow misses, and this is going from bad to worse. Pushing Apollo around. Yeah, this is a lot of damage that Apollo can't deal with.
Oh, no! Okay, we can fight. Here.
Okay. I'm going.
I give it.
2, 3, 3, 5.
I'm going mid.
Coming.
I came in, 1v2.
Yeah. After go top. Yeah, zero go mid.
Nothing to do. Oh! Wow! Just wrecks him. Sneaky's gone. Lemonation's next. Hai's also in the sights. There we go. 1-0 Impulse.